Hey everyone, thank you for stopping by my channel today. It is still January and I love making lists, and so I figured I would make a couple more videos about some of my favorite things from 2015, last year. And so I realized I had been collecting a lot of garbage and empties, and the more I started looking at them as I was prepping for this video, I realized that a lot of my empties were some of my favorite things, because life is too short to use a product that you don't like. And I think you should give products a chance, but there's no obligation to finish a product just for the sake of. So a lot of times I don't even bother finishing things that just really aren't working for me. And so my empties collection turned into kind of a favorites thing. And I thought, well, that's a nifty little combination right there. My favorite empties? Yes, that's what we're calling it, my favorite empties. I am going to do this in two parts for your sake and for mine, because as I was looking at my entire collection of empties, apparently it's been a while since I've done one. Let me show you. My empties filled this entire basket. Actually, I can get the basket to fill the entire screen. And so I've decided to split it into two parts. Part one right now will be all of my beauty favorites and empties. And so I'll film a second, probably in the same entire outfit right after I film this one. I'll film a part two, which will be my body and skin and hair favorite empties. So if you want to find out what my beauty favorite empties from 2015 are, then just keep watching. Many of these products have their own individual videos where I talk about them more in depth, and if that is the case for any of those products, rather than say that 100 times, I'm just gonna say that all individual videos relating to some of these products, I will link those down below in the description box. Let's talk about mascara first. I think mascara is one of those top 3 beauty products that I won't leave the house without. Because, I don't know, I feel like your eyes, that is something that people see the most. So, I have 3, not 1, but 3 of the L'Oreal Telescopic mascaras. They are my absolute favorite when it comes to lengthening your lashes. I gotta tell you, it doesn't really work well on its own. The wand is a very skinny, long, almost like a comb shaped wand. Many people don't like it, and actually, I think they don't like it because they rely on it alone. I use this as my step 1 when it comes to doing my mascara. I lengthen first and then I go in and volumize. I volumize with 2 different mascaras. The first one from the drugstore is also by L'Oreal. It's the Miss Manga Rock mascara. This brush is major in that the bristles are really far apart, which is what's necessary to thicken your lashes after you lengthen them, because the wide set bristles on the brush do not allow for any clumping, which is what you don't want to do when you're trying to layer mascara. My probably absolute favorite mascara ever on the planet is by Dior. This is the Diorshow, but not the original. This is the Diorshow Blackout mascara. So the wand itself is also pretty large. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about it. Maybe they're afraid of it. Don't be afraid. It's very friendly. Just go for it. One of the liquid eyeliners that I went through this year is by Revlon, actually. It's the Colorstay Skinny liquid eyeliner. But the reason I like this one is because, like I said, it's called Skinny, and so I bet you can't even see it because the little brush at the end is tiny and narrow. I don't use this to create a dramatic line. I actually use it just to kind of fill in the spaces between my lashes. And so I need the wand or the brush to be very, very tiny and very thin and very skinny, which is what they call it. I have 2 empty Anastasia Brow Wizes because I think honestly these are like the best brow pencil on the market. I just keep going back to it. I've tried many others in the meantime. I always go back to this. They are the perfect blend of being creamy so that they're easy to apply, but being waxy enough so that you don't wind up drawing like major lines in your brows that you're trying to make look natural. I use the lightest shade, Taupe, and it's pretty much a holy grail for me because I just keep going back to it, and to me, that's a holy grail. I also really love the Clear Brow Gel by Anastasia because I really feel like it is one of the stronger brow gels to keep your brows down without becoming too flaky or white. You know when you've got like a gel that you then kind of move and suddenly like it turns white? I hate that, pet peeve. And so I really find that that happens just a hair because it's the nature of what the brow gel is doing. It is a gel, but it happens so minimally, yet keeps your brows down in place exactly where they need to be for the entire duration of the day. Yes. I'm also including here by NYX. It is also a clear brow gel called Control Freak. However, I use it on my hair because I've got very straight hair. My flyaways are very prominent, and I find that this works fabulously along my part to just kind of comb down any of my flyaways rather than like do like a major spray of hairspray or something, or like, you know, you lick your fingers, flatten it down. No, we don't do that. And I go through quite a few tubes of it because I'm using it. I carry one with me. There's one in my car. I use it all the time because I have like major flyaways. And that's what happens when you have straight hair. My last brow product is by Benefit. It is their Gimme Brow. Unfortunately, I feel like only people that have somewhat full brows already, where they might have some spacing or some little minor bald spots in your brows. Yeah, that's what you would call them, bald spots. It's hair, bald spots in your brows. Anyway, you kind of have to have enough brow in order to be able to use this because the Gimme Brow winds up adhering to your current brow hairs and kind of thickening them with some fibers and kind of adding dimension that way. So if you've got a lot of fill-in material that you need to deal with, the Gimme Brow might not be good for you. There are two shades, a lighter and a darker. I have the lighter because I believe you must start lighter with your brows. Otherwise, you wind up looking like Charlie Chaplin, and that is no good any day of the week. Let's get away from our brows and step below your eyes. This is also kind of a holy grail product for me because I can't stop going back to it. It's the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I've said before, it is nothing like the Maybelline Fit Me. The Fit Me is much thinner, does not do nearly enough coverage. I find that this is able to cover and brighten my dark circles without appearing too cakey. I mean, what else would you be looking for in an under eye concealer? Actually, that's it. I'm not even gonna say anything else about it. I've been through a couple of primers, but they're kind of cheater because they're tiny. First of all, I went through two of the tiny by Benefit, the Pore-fessional pore smoothing, skin smoothing primers. These are the tiny sizes. Turns out they are a good value even in comparison to the larger size. Basically it's like a third of the size for like a third of the price. And so I wanted to try them out, and turns out I really like them. I do have large pores, I've got oily skin, they kind of go hand in hand, and I use this primer primarily in my cheek area where my pores give me the most issue. I've got the other comparable pore minimizing, it's actually by Smashbox, the Photofinish pore minimizing primer. They are pretty comparable to each other. I find that for whatever reason, I just like the one by Benefit better, the Porefessional. But if you nailed me down and said you need to pick one, I would pick the Porefessional. I've been through my very first bottle of many, let me just put that out there, many to come that is, of the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I am in the shade Warm Nude. I use this for days where I know my skin is just a hair unhappy for whatever reason. Too much wind, too much sun, too much cold, too much dry, too much oil. This is just, it must be the coconut water. This is just, it just makes my skin calm down, feel really good. It's amazing coverage. I love. Also, kind of becoming a holy grail sort of product. So what is this video supposed to be now? My favorite empties / holy grails? This is very complicated. I'm a big fan of the L'Oreal Infallible Makeup Extender Spray. I think it's a good value. You get a lot of product for about half the price of the kind of higher end brands. I think it does what it's supposed to do. It kind of blends in all of your powders very nicely without making you feel like stiff and tight. It's a really good refresher if you need to freshen your makeup during the day. And I've been through, I actually thought I had another bottle. I think I'm on my third right now. But for representation purposes, this is the rep for the number of bottles that I've been through. I've been through two, but again, it kind of doesn't count because they're the smaller ones. And actually they've changed their packaging. This is the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. These are the little trial sizes. I just love things in tiny containers, and so, I don't know, I just defaulted to the little guys. Plus, they're super convenient. From what I understand, Fix Plus works really well for folks with dry skin, and since that's not me, I thought, well, that's not for me. And I was kind of jealous of everyone that got to use it. But as it turns out, as the day would wear on, because I'm always trying to reduce the excessive amounts of oil that my face creates, my skin creates, occasionally I would wind up with some random dry patches. And so I do carry this with me so that about midway through the day, I can give myself a refresher spray, and it kind of like immediately eliminates any form of dry patches that I may have developed throughout the day. I know, right? I'm like, me? Dry patches? That doesn't even seem real. But also, aside from using it as a facial spray, Mac Fix Plus works awesome, of course, when you want to intensify an eyeshadow by spraying your eyeshadow brush and then dipping into your powder shadow of choice, and it winds up amazingly intensifying the color. So multi-use, multi-purpose. I probably should invest in the larger bottle. Two more things, and these are definitely random. I finished one of the smaller, oh my gosh, again, it's the smaller, Josie Maran 100% pure argan oil. And I know that seems like ironic, right, when I talk about how I have oily skin. However, I also have allergies, so I'm blowing my nose all the time. It's awful. And so as such, kind of around my nose and around my mouth and into my chin a little bit, that can tend to be a problem area for me of being a little bit dry. Although I use a gentle moisturizer all over my face, I will concentrate the argan oil just kind of around the area I just described in order to just address that area alone as needing just some additional moisture. I have become a fan of the Tarte Maracuja oil since finishing this, but this is still, by comparison, this is a little bit thicker than the Tarte Maracuja oil, but they're very, very comparable, so whatever your preference would be. My last beauty favorite empty is very noisy, and they are by Huggies. Okay, I'm gonna stop making that noise now. I'm gonna just put it down. They are the Huggies One and Done baby wipes. One and done because they basically only need to use one and then you're done. They are a little bit thicker than standard or traditional baby wipes, and they are in the scent of cucumber mint, cucumber tea, cucumber and green tea. Oh, so it's got a really good scent. I have baby wipes just kind of all the time, but particularly in reference to beauty, I use them if I've been swatching on my hand. I wipe it off with that. After I apply primers or product with my fingertips, I can easily just grab a baby wipe in order to wipe my hands off. It's a baby wipe, okay? It's not hard to figure out how I might like to use it. So there you have it, my list of favorite beauty empties from 2015. And so if you like this video and would like to see more like it, and actually I'm going to record part 2 in just a second, which would be the body, skin, and hair version of my favorite empties. But if you like this video and want to see even more like it, then give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not already a subscriber but would like to be notified when I release more stuff, then please subscribe. Please leave me a comment below about what some of your beauty favorites are. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you have a really good rest of the day. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. And in the meantime, thanks.
I look forward to seeing you in my next Damn! So close! So close! Oh my gosh, my nose keeps itching! I want to just like take my hand and just like, but then I will have a red runway across my face where I've wiped off all of my makeup. I don't use this to create a dramatic eyeline. I don't use this to create a dramatic eyeline. One of the liquid eyeliners that I went through this, oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to say that much slower. One of the eyeliners that I went through this year as a liquid, oh my gosh, why can't I say that? Let's talk about brows. I've got 2 of the Anastasia Brow Wiz, Anastasia? How do you actually say that? Is it Ja or Zia?